The storm screamed like artillery fire. Rex, a 90-pound German shepherd with a jagged scar across his ribs, dragged himself through the mud, his paws raw from running. Men's voices echoed behind him. "Put a bullet in it." Lightning flashed, revealing the tattoo under his matted fur, Sterling Canine number 7. He'd been their best fighter, until he refused to kill. Now, the only thing sharper than the shrapnel in his leg was his will to survive. A flicker of light ahead, a rundown Texas farmhouse. Rex collapsed against the porch, his blood staining the wood. Inside, a shadow moved. A woman's boot stepped over him. "Damn strays," muttered Dakota Reeves, her voice sandpaper rough from too many nights screaming over battlefield wounds. She turned away. Rex's teeth clamped onto her jeans cuff. Not a plea, a warning. The storm wasn't the real danger. They were coming. Dakota kicked free, reaching for her rifle. "Let go, mutt!" But the dog's amber eyes locked onto hers, not begging, but commanding. Then she heard it, tires on gravel. Rex's growl vibrated through her boots. Headlights sliced through the rain. A black van with Sterling Kennels stenciled on the side. Dakota's breath hitched. Combat instinct. She'd seen vans like that in Afghanistan, moving confiscated dogs for warlords. The engine idled. A man in a cashmere coat, Vaughn Sterling, alligator boots gleaming, scanned the property. Rex's body tensed. Vaughn's gaze landed on them. "There's my property." Dakota's finger hovered over the trigger, but it was Rex who moved first, launching at Vaughn with a snarl that sounded like revenge. The gunshot cracked. Rex fell. Vaughn smiled. So did Dakota. Her bullet had hit his shoulder. The bullet graze burned, but Vaughn fled for now. Dakota hauled Rex into her truck, speeding toward the only 24-hour vet in county, Jesse Rhodes, a man whose hands healed animals but carried prison tattoos. "Another fight dog?" Jesse sighed, probing Rex's wounds. Then he froze. His fingers traced the brand under Rex's ear. "Celestial Shepherd. This is one of Jeremiah Cole's dogs." Dakota frowned. "Who?" Jesse's voice dropped. "Best trainer in Texas. His whole bloodline disappeared 10 years ago. Rex's microchip was gouged out, surgically." Jesse's jaw tightened. "Vaughn Sterling's been stealing dogs for decades. This one's special." Rex licked Jesse's wrist, a thank you, or a warning. Outside, an engine roared. Tires spit gravel. Jesse grabbed his shotgun. "They always come back for the special ones." The power died at 2:17 a.m. Rex's ears pricked. Cologne. Expensive. Vaughn's scent. Dakota slept fitfully in the clinic's chair, her hand on Rex's bandages. Metal screeched. The back kennel door pried open. Rex stood. Pain be damned. Shadows moved. 2 men. Trank guns. Jesse was out cold. Drugged coffee in the sink. Rex nudged Dakota awake with a whine. Too late. A dart hissed through the dark. Rex took it in the shoulder, collapsing. "Load him up," a voice ordered. Dakota's pistol clicked empty, sabotaged. The van door slammed. As darkness took him, Rex locked eyes with her. Promise. Then, tires screaming toward Sterling Manor, where no dog ever barked, where the silence was worse than screams. Rex woke in a concrete cell. Brody Sullivan, Vaughn's 19-year-old son, slid a ribeye through the bars. "He thinks you're cursed." Rex devoured it, not trusting, but starving. Brody's hands shook. "Celestia's pups all died, except you." Rex's head snapped up. Celestia. The name triggered flashes. A black German shepherd licking his puppy face. Then, gunshots. Brody leaned close. "Dad lied. He didn't lose you in the storm. You jumped." Footsteps echoed. Brody vanished. Vaughn appeared, syringe in hand. "Time to finish what I started." Rex's lips curled. Vaughn flinched. That's when Rex smelled it. Fear. The mighty Vaughn Sterling was terrified of him. Jesse scrubbed blood off his clinic floor. Dakota paced, her truck keys digging into her palm. "We're getting him back," Jesse snorted. "Against Vaughn's private army?" He tossed her a file. Photos of emaciated dogs with sterling tattoos. Proof. But we need Brody. Meanwhile, at Sterling Manor, Rex paced his cell. The tattoo itched, a brand of ownership. Then, a shadow. Brody, holding wire cutters. "Dad's selling you tonight. Last chance." Rex hesitated. Brody's eyes were red-rimmed. Guilty. The lock clicked. Rex bolted, straight into Vaughn's boots. Traitor. Vaughn spat at Brody, backhanding him. Rex lunged, teeth sinking into Vaughn's thigh. A gun cocked. Enough. Vaughn aimed at Rex's head. Brody tackled his father. The shot went wide. Rex ran, into the storm, toward Dakota's land, toward the only human he'd ever trusted. Behind him, Vaughn screamed, "I'll bury you both."
Dakota's headlights caught Rex limping up her driveway. She sprinted to him, checking his wounds. "Jesse, he's back!" But Rex wouldn't rest. He dragged her to the truck, barking toward Sterling Manor. Jesse understood first. He wants us to see something. They crept through Vaughn's kennels at dawn. Dozens of German shepherds paced perfect circles. No barking, no play. "Drugged," Jesse whispered. Then they saw King, Vaughn's champion. His left ear twitched uncontrollably. Rex whined. King's eyes finally focused and filled with tears. Jesse snapped photos. "This is evidence." A shotgun racked. Vaughn's foreman grinned. "Y'all ain't leaving with those." Rex bared his teeth. Dakota cocked her pistol. "Try us." The standoff froze until an engine roared up. Brody's Jeep. "They know everything, Dad. It's over." Vaughn's face went pale. Rex's tail wagged once. Checkmate. Jesse spread the evidence on Dakota's kitchen table. Drugged dog food receipts, vet records with forged signatures. But one Polaroid made him freeze. Young Vaughn posing with Celestia, a gun to her head. Brody stared at his boots. He bragged she was the mother of killers. Rex sniffed the photo, then whimpered, remembering. Dakota's fists clenched. "We take this to the feds." Jesse shook his head. "Vaughn owns the sheriff. We need irrefutable proof." Rex suddenly bolted outside, digging near the porch. Dirt flew. Then a rusted metal box. Inside, a puppy collar with a tag. Celestia's last litter. Rex. Brody gasped. "The night you escaped, you took proof with you." Rex nosed the tag toward Dakota. 10 years of waiting. Jesse grinned. "Now we got him." Outside, tires screeched. Vaughn's voice boomed. "Give me my damn dog!" Rex's growl said it all. "Never again." Vaughn kicked open the door, shotgun leveled. "That collar's mine." Dakota reached for her pistol, too slow. Vaughn fired. Rex lunged, taking the blast in his flank. He crumpled, blood pooling. Vaughn laughed, finally. Then, a click behind him. Brody held a revolver to his father's head. "Move, and I'll do what you taught me." Vaughn froze. Jesse dragged Rex to the table, staunching the wound. "He'll live." Dakota cradled Rex's head. His tongue flicked her palm, still fighting. Vaughn sneered. "That mutt's evidence. The court will side with me." Brody's voice cracked. "Not this time." Sirens wailed. Sheriff's cruisers. Vaughn paled. Rex's ears perked. For the first time in his life, the law was coming for the right man. The sheriff cuffed Vaughn, but the real bombshell came from Brody. "I was 12. Dad took Celestia's pups to Miller's Creek, held them under, said, 'Weakness drowns.'" Rex whined, remembering. Brody sobbed. "But you fought, jumped from the sack. Dad shot at you, but the storm." Dakota stroked Rex's ears. "You've been running ever since." The sheriff took Vaughn away, but Jesse warned he'll lawyer up by morning. Rex limped to Brody, licking his tears. "Forgiveness." Dakota nodded. "We need that court order now." As they loaded into the truck, Rex hesitated. His gaze locked onto the woods. Something howled in the distance, a sound he knew. King. Mon's champion was missing. Rex's hackles rose. The fight wasn't over, not while Vaughn had allies, not while dogs still suffered. He jumped into the truck. Dakota grinned. Attaboy. The engine roared toward town and justice.
The county fairgrounds buzzed with polished handlers and prancing purebreds until Rex limped in. The crowd gasped. Vaughn's lawyers whispered, "That's the dog from the police report." Dakota clipped on Rex's leash, her army medals pinned to her vest. Let's show him what a real service dog does. The judge, Thomas Granger, a man with ice-gray eyes, studied Rex's scars, then Vaughn's two perfect shepherds. Begin. Rex aced every command, until Vaughn's prized King entered. The dog's gait was robotic, his eyes hollow. When the judge approached, King flinched. Rex let out a warning growl. King suddenly snapped, lunging at Vaughn's sleeve, ripping it to reveal old bite marks. The crowd murmured. Granger's gaze hardened. "Mr. Sterling, why is your champion terrified of you?" Vaughn's smile faltered. Rex's tail gave one firm wag. Checkmate. Vaughn slammed a document on the judge's table. "This proves Rex is my property, stolen a decade ago." Dakota's blood ran cold. The paper looked real, embossed seal, faded ink. Granger frowned. "This says Celestia's entire litter died." Vaughn smirked. "Except one." Rex snarled at the lie. Brody lunged forward. "That's fake! Dad forged it last night." Vaughn's lawyer cut in. "Your Honor, this unstable stray attacked my client." A sharp whistle cut him off. Jesse strode in, tossing a file to Granger. Vet records proving Rex's chip was surgically removed after Vaughn's accident. The judge's eyes narrowed. Vaughn's hand twitched toward his coat pocket. Rex tensed. So did Dakota's hand on her concealed pistol. "Enough," Granger said. "I'm calling animal control." But not for Rex. For Vaughn's drug dogs.
The courtroom erupted. Reporters swarmed as deputies hauled Vaughn away. Brody stood trembling at the witness stand. "My dad murdered Celestia, drowned her pups. Rex only survived because he jumped from the sack." A photo flashed on screen. Miller's Creek, where tiny bones still surfaced after floods. The jury recoiled. Vaughn's snarl was venomous. "You're dead to me." Brody didn't flinch. "I'd rather be dead than you." Outside, Rex pressed against Dakota's leg, watching through the window. His ears perked at a sound, a distant howl. King was out there, alone. Jesse muttered, "Vaughn's men will silence that dog." Dakota stroked Rex's head. "Then we find him first." As the gavel slammed, "Guilty on all counts," Rex bolted for the door. The fight wasn't over. Not while King carried the last piece of evidence, Vaughn's training logs tattooed under his fur. The judge's verdict was drowned out by a chorus of howls, every service dog in the courthouse reacting to something unseen. Rex scrambled to the window. Across the street, King stood on a dumpster, his muzzle bloody, chain dangling. Their eyes met. King howled again, a sound like a broken siren. Then he vanished into an alley. Rex didn't hesitate. He slammed through the courthouse doors, Dakota and Jesse sprinting after him. They found King collapsed behind a dumpster, his ribs heaving. Rex licked his rival's face. King's paw lifted, revealing a fresh brand. VS618. A date. The day Celestia died. Jesse cursed. "Vaughn marked him like livestock." Dakota radioed the sheriff. "We need a vet now." But Rex was already dragging King toward the truck. No dog left behind. Not even an enemy. Jesse's clinic smelled of antiseptic and fear. King trembled on the table as Rex stood guard, licking the sweat from his muzzle. "He's crashing," Jesse yelled, injecting adrenaline. Dakota held King's paw, the same way Rex had once held hers. "Fight, soldier." The monitor flatlined. Rex let out a whine so human it shattered Jesse. Then, beep. King's heart stuttered back. Rex nuzzled him fiercely. Outside, Brody arrived, tears streaking his face. Dad's men were coming to kill him. Dakota showed him the brand. Brody paled. June 18th? Celestia's death day? He trophied it. Rex growled low. This wasn't just justice now. It was war. And for the first time, King's tail thumped weakly against Rex's side. Allie. 3 weeks later, Whitaker Farm buzzed with new life. King gained weight, his coat glossy under Dakota's care. Rex trained 6 rescued shepherds, all Vaughn's rejects, using nuzzles, not force. Jesse held up a newspaper. Sterling sentenced, 15 years. Dakota didn't smile. His money'll cut that in half. Brody, now living in her barn, scrubbed kennels silently. Rex watched them all, the soldier, the vet, the trader's son, and felt something unfamiliar. Peace. Until an engine growled up the drive. A sleek black sedan. The window rolled down, revealing a woman in sunglasses. Dakota Reeves? I'm with Military Canine Rescue. We heard about your unique training methods? She nodded at Rex. We have 24 dogs like him, abused, untrusting. Dakota crossed her arms. What are you asking? The woman smiled. Help us save them. Rex's tail wagged. King barked. Brody whispered, Holy shit! Dakota grinned. Saddle up.
Dakota knelt before King, holding a new collar, no tags, no chains. Your choice now. King hesitated, then dipped his head. The snap of the buckle echoed like a gunshot in reverse. Rex nudged him toward the field where the other dogs played. King took one step, then another, then ran, his howl splitting the sky. Jesse wiped his eyes. Damn dust. Brody tossed a stick. King caught it midair. First time he'd ever played. Rex watched, his chest swelling. This was why he'd survived, why he'd bitten Dakota's boot, why Vaughn's bullets missed. The woman from Canine Rescue, Major Elena Cruz, handed Dakota a folder. First transport arrives tomorrow. They're bad off. Dakota flipped it open. Photos of dogs with hollow eyes and fresh scars. Rex leaned against her leg. Ready. Cruz smiled. We'll call it Operation Celestia. That night, Rex didn't jerk awake at shadows. No nightmares of cages or creek water filling his lungs. Just the steady hum of the farm. Crickets, King's snores, Dakota's even breathing. Until a whimper. Brody sat on the porch, head in hands. Rex patted over, licking his elbow. Brody choked out, I should have stopped him sooner. Rex shoved his head under the boy's arm. Not your fault. Brody buried his face in Rex's fur. What if I turn into him? A growl answered, King standing guard. The two dogs exchanged a look. Then Rex nudged Brody toward the kennels where a new arrival, a shivering pup with Vaughn's brand, peered out. Brody's breath hitched. Oh God. Rex barked once. Help him instead. Brody scooped up the pup, tears falling. Okay. Dawn broke with 3 figures on the porch. A broken boy, a battle-scarred dog, and a puppy learning to trust.
The VA pills rattled in the trash can. Dakota's hands, steady for the first time in years, buttoned her uniform. Not Army issue. The new Canine Training Director patch gleamed. Outside, Rex herded 6 dogs through an obstacle course. No commands, just trust. Major Cruz watched, stunned. How? Dakota shrugged. Rex taught me. They don't need drills. They need you. A bark interrupted them. King, leading the new rescues. Each wore a tag, property of nobody, free at last. Cruz's eyes watered. This changes everything. Dakota nodded toward Rex. He did. Rex, mid-leap to catch a frisbee, looked every inch the hero. Then he face-planted in the mud. The dogs howled with laughter. So did Dakota. The sound was better than any metal. Jesse hammered the sign into the dirt. Rhodes Canine Rehab. No dog left behind. Brody painted paw prints leading to the door. Inside, King supervised as Rex nuzzled a new arrival, a shepherd missing an ear. Vaughn's last kennel, Cruz confirmed. Dakota's radio crackled. Sheriff here. Vaughn's appealing. Claims you stole Rex. The room went still. Rex bared his teeth. Brody laughed bitterly. Of course. Jesse tossed his wrench. Let him try. Outside, the dogs formed a pack around Rex. His army now. Dakota smirked. Looks like the mutt's got a lawyer. Rex's bark shook the windows. The message was clear. Come and take me. But Vaughn Sterling would learn. Some dogs bite back.
The phone rang at 3:17 a.m. Dakota fumbled for it, Rex already alert at her side. Major Cruz's voice was razor sharp. We raided a bunker in Oklahoma, found a female shepherd. Microchip links her to Vaughn's operation. Rex's ears pricked at the name Celestia's Legacy. Dakota's grip tightened. Alive? A pause. Barely. She's different, like they changed her. Rex let out a low whine, pawing at Dakota's keys. Brody appeared in the doorway, King at his heels. We're going, aren't we? Dawn hadn't broken when the truck roared onto the highway. Rex stared out the window, haunted. Somewhere ahead was a dog who knew Vaughn's worst secrets and the men who'd killed to keep them buried. Dakota's knuckles whitened on the wheel. Hold on, girl, we're coming. Rex's reflection in the glass showed something new in his eyes. Fear. Jesse arrived at Whitaker Farm to silence. No barking, no King. Just a single paw print in blood leading to the woods. The security footage showed 3 men in Sterling kennels, jackets, and King walking to them, tail low. He went willingly, Jesse whispered. Dakota's phone buzzed, an anonymous text. Photo of King muzzled in a steel crate. Below it, trade for the female, Vaughn's orders. Brody's face drained. They're using him as bait. Rex snarled, sniffing the blood. Then he froze. A scent underneath. Medicated. Chemical. The same smell from Vaughn's perfect dogs. Jesse's hands shook. They're doping him again. Dakota loaded her rifle. Rex clamped down on her sleeve. Not yet. His gaze locked on to the woods. There was another way. A dog's way. And it started with tracking the 1 cent King left behind. Broth from Brody's last meal. Brody revved his dirt bike. Rex strapped in a sidecar. Dad kept records at our hunting cabin, codes for his drug shipments. Dakota radioed Cruz, stall the trade. The bike tore through back roads, Rex's nose to the wind. The cabin loomed, padlocked, rotting. Brody kicked the door in. Inside, a wall of dates and dog tags. Rex zeroed in on one. Legacy, batch number 9, 618. Brody yanked a ledger open. Holy shit, he was selling them to militias, trained attack dogs. A gun cocked behind them. Vaughn's foreman grinned. Boss said you'd come. Rex lunged, but the tranq dart hit Brody's shoulder first. As the boy collapsed, Rex heard the worst sound. King's howl in the distance, pained, drugged. The foreman leveled his pistol. Say goodbye, mutt. Then, bang! Not a gunshot, a truck smashing through the wall. Dakota hanging out the driver's side, shotgun aimed. Wrong last words. Smoke choked the cabin ruins. Rex dragged Brody to safety as Dakota traded fire with Vaughn's men. Then it came again, King's howl, closer now, drugged, desperate. Rex hesitated. Brody groaned, go! Dakota tossed him her pistol, cover me! Rex bolted toward the sound, dodging bullets. He found King chained to a truck bumper, froth at his jaws. Their eyes met. King's were wild, unrecognizing. Rex nosed the chain. King snapped, teeth grazing Rex's ear. Then, a whiff of Brody's scent on King's collar. Rex licked it insistently. King stilled.
Somewhere under the drugs, he remembered. The chain broke under Rex's teeth just as Vaughn's men closed in. Too many. Then, engines roaring. Cruz's Humvees skidded in, soldiers pouring out. Stand down, military K-9 unit. Rex didn't wait. He and King sprinted back to Brody. The ledger was safe in Dakota's hands. Vaughn's empire? Finished.
The military convoy idled outside Vaughn's penthouse. Cruz handed Dakota a folder. President just signed the seizure order. His labs, his kennels, gone. Brody hugged King, who trembled against him. Rex watched the penthouse lights. Vaughn was up there. Dakota chambered around. He'll run. Cruz blocked her. Let the law handle it. Then, glass shattered. Vaughn's body crashed onto the awning, then the concrete. The crowd screamed. Rex smelled it before he saw it. Cordite. Self-inflicted. Brody didn't cry, just whispered, "Coward." King licked his cheek. Dakota exhaled. It's over. Rex nosed her hand. Not quite. Across the street, a TV crew filmed Celestia's legacy, the rescued female shepherd stepping into sunlight for the first time. Her tail wagged once. Rex's work wasn't done. There were more dogs to save, more battles ahead. 1 month later, King trotted proudly beside Brody at the K-9 Veterans Parade, his new service vest gleaming. The crowd cheered. Rex marched ahead with Dakota, Cruz saluting them. Reporters shouted, "How'd you rehabilitate Vaughn Sterling's killer dog?" Brody grinned. Turns out he just needed a job. King nuzzled a wheelchair-bound vet, fetching his dropped hat. The cameras ate it up. But Rex saw the truth. King still woke gasping from nightmares, still flinched at raised voices. Healing wasn't linear, neither was justice. At the after-party, Cruz pulled Dakota aside. "We're naming the new program after him." She nodded to Rex, now surrounded by kids begging for photos. Dakota's smile faded. Vaughn's buyers are still out there. They'll want revenge. Rex, sensing her tension, leaned against her leg. "Bring it on." King mirrored the move beside Brody, two once-broken dogs, now standing tall. The reporter's pen hovered. "What'll you call the program?" Cruz smiled. "Operation Rex." Brody stood at Miller's Creek, a simple wooden marker in his hands. Celestia and her pups, never forgotten. King dug gently beside it, uncovering a rusted dog bowl. Rex placed a fresh stake on the grave. Brody's tears fell freely now. "I'm sorry I didn't stop him sooner." Dakota squeezed his shoulder. "You stopped him in time." A rustle in the bushes. Legacy, the rescued female shepherd, limped forward. She sniffed the marker, then licked Brody's hand. Rex watched, tail slow. Legacy wasn't Celestia, but her eyes held the same fire. Brody wiped his face. "We should go, storm's coming." The wind picked up, howling through the trees like a ghostly pack. Rex led the way back to the truck, Legacy leaning on King. Behind them, the stake vanished, taken by some wild creature, or maybe Celestia's spirit, finally at peace. The farm's newest arrival cowered in the transport crate, a brindle mutt, maybe 6 months old, with Vaughn's brand on his hip. Rex approached slowly. The pup growled. Rex rolled onto his back, belly up, submission. The pup blinked. Then Rex did something he'd never done before. He play-bowed. The pup's tail twitched. Dakota laughed. "Well, I'll be damned." Brody tossed a ball. The pup pounced, then proudly dropped it at Rex's feet. "Looks like you've got a protege," Jesse said. Rex nuzzled the pup, who promptly fell asleep against him. That night, Dakota found Rex grooming the pup's scars, just as Jesse had once done for him. She snapped a photo, texting Cruz, "Found our next recruit." The reply was instant. "Name?" Dakota smiled at the sleeping pair. "Trooper." Outside, thunder rumbled, but for once, no one flinched.
Dakota stared at the VA disability claim form on her weathered kitchen table, the pen trembling in her scarred hand for entirely new reasons now. After years of leaving it blank, she finally wrote, "I don't need compensation. I need this," and stapled a photo of Rex, King, and little Trooper piled together in sunlit contentment. She hesitated, then scrolled a postscript that would change everything.
Send your hopeless cases to us. We specialize in second chances." Jessie chuckled over her shoulder. "They'll send hundreds." But Dakota just shrugged as Rex's joyful bark echoed through the screen door. Outside, her pack moved as one unit. No leashes, no shouts, just perfect understanding. Brody filmed the miracle unfolding, Legacy matching King's steady pace, Trooper tumbling after butterflies, and Rex gently herding them all with quiet authority. The video frame froze on Dakota's face, not the hardened veteran from segment 1, but a woman rediscovering laughter as dogs swarmed her into the mud. The caption wrote itself, "Who rescued who?" As the molten Texas sun dipped below the horizon, Dakota and Rex took their evening run across the north pasture, her limp nearly gone, his gait smooth despite the shrapnel scars. Behind them flowed their patchwork family, King keeping perfect pace with Brody, Trooper zigzagging with puppy energy, and Legacy carrying herself like the regal survivor she was. No chains, no commands, just 18 paws moving in sync with 2 human hearts. Dakota slowed to a walk, her calloused hand finding Rex's ears as naturally as breathing. "We did good, boy." Rex answered by pressing his wet nose to her palm, their battlefield language perfected over years. In the golden light, Brody waved from the farmhouse porch where Jessie and Major Cruz raised sweet tea glasses to their unlikely family. Trooper collapsed in a panting heap as Legacy rolled in the clover, belly up and safe at last. Dakota knelt in the grass, forehead touching Rex's. No more running. The moment stretched. No nightmares, no gunfire, just the peaceful rhythm of dogs breathing and wind chimes singing. Fade to black. Text. For every Rex still out there, keep fighting.